G'day guys, and you're welcome to The Drunk Philosopher. I'm Googs. Part 2 of the climate change protests. You know, I heard a lot of the protests. I actually spent a little bit of time after making that video watching some of the fallout from the protests, and here's what I saw. You know, imagine I'm, the caller of the crowd at first, and then the crowd. So the caller of the crowd goes something like, "What do we want? Save the environment. How do we do it?" Rah, rah, rah. Who should save the environment? Everyone but us. You drive a car. I can guarantee you all your parents drive a car. You take the train, especially in cities, that run off the electricity grid. Maybe you take a plane for your holiday. Do you have solar panels? They require rare minerals, copper, and aluminium, bauxite, all these other things, especially copper. That's usually and generally strip mined, right? You're lying to yourself. You're not saving anything. The megaphone that you're using is made of plastic, right? Plastic and copper and a few other bits and bobs. Plastic, oil refined. You're saving nothing. You're proving nothing. In fact, all you're doing is looking like a bunch of jerk-offs. If you want to save the environment, then let's go back to living in the Stone Age. That's the reality here. It's the only way we're going to do it. We'll go back to hunting Neolithic style, spears, boomerang, bow and arrow. And we'll live in caves. If you actually looked at everything in your house and what it's made from and where it goes after you've finished with it, saving the environment suddenly becomes a lot more complicated. Look at your car, right? Or even your bike. Your bike, it might be carbon, right? It might be steel, that's mining. The vulcanized rubber of your tires, plastic and rubber. You say, "Oh, I'm living healthier." Are you? Are you living better? You go to the shop and buy your celery and it's wrapped in plastic. All the chemicals in your water to make your water drinkable are mined. There is nothing that we use in today's modern world that does not negatively impact the environment. What are you going to do? Oh, well, we'll all wear cotton and not nylon. Yeah, cotton takes a lot of water to farm. We can reduce our impact on the environment. And we should. We should find alternative sources of power other than coal. Absolutely. But let's not live in a fantasy world, people. I mean, I'm wearing glasses. Metal, plastic, composite glass. It's got plastic in it. It's mining. The paint on your walls is plastic. Let's get real, people. If you actually took a proper inventory of everything in your house and on your person that you need in the modern world to survive, you'd soon realize how hypocritical you are as a person saying we need to save the environment. Because we all partake in its destruction, whether we like it or not. And the idea of getting somebody else to fix the problem, like I said in my last video, politicians ain't going to fix shit. Never do. What are you going to do? You're going to scream about Australia being so, producing so much waste and CO2 in the atmosphere. And then you look at China. Now, admittedly, we've got 25 million people. They've got over 1 billion. And they've also got most of the world's manufacturing in that country, well, between them and India and West Africa at the moment. What are you going to do? Honestly, what are you going to do? So protest, it's your right. Do it. But we all know the score. And it may be that in 40 years' time, or 12 years' time, our civilization completely collapses because there's a massive event in change of the climate that wipes us all out. But whose fucking fault is that? It's ours for being so intelligent. Then again, tomorrow, an asteroid escapes the belt. We don't see it until it's 3 days out in 4 months' time and wipes our planet out. We can't predict these things. I don't know the answer. I haven't got the answers, and I don't think anybody has the answers at this point in time. We've become far too reliant on our inventions and our technologies. What do we do? What do we do? You know, when environmentalists make videos on YouTube, on their phones, like I'm making one on my phone right now, about how terrible the world is, or they do it on a video camera. Well, that video camera is made out of shit that was mined from the ground to get your message out there. The electricity that is used to run the internet and that sort of thing to get your power to your TV or whatever you're watching it on, whichever device you're watching it on, has to be recharged if it's a phone. What are you going to do? I don't know. But yelling and screaming without a solution is literally barking at the moon. It's madness. You have a right to it. That's fine. I don't mind. Do your thing. But if I do my one thing, it's taking all the kids out of school, right, to do the protest. Why are the kids out of school? You know, you want them to learn, you want them to be educated, you want them to be all the rest of it. And here you are saying to kids, I'll just have a day off and come and protest with us. And you're putting fear into them. You're making them afraid. You know, it's amazing. Atheists and people like this always come out and say, oh, we don't like indoctrination of the children into the fear of God. Well, what's happening right now is all these people are going out and indoctrinating children to be afraid of the environment and of us, that we're bad, evil parasites on the face of the earth. And what are you doing? You're doing the same thing. Instead of we're going to hell, we're going to turn the earth into hell. And Revelations, it's coming soon, it's coming soon, it's 12 years, it's 40 years, it's 60 years, it's 80 years. You're doing exactly the same thing as you accuse the Christians of doing. You're indoctrinating the children and you are scaring the fuck out of them. You are denying them their childhood. Let them worry about the environment when they're older. Stop fucking pretending that you've got the answers. You don't. And the kids may have the answer at some point. But not if they're dumb shits because they're constantly protesting outside of the classroom. And the only thing they care about, because they're scared about it, is the environment. Without the knowledge of a wider picture of what we need in order to survive in the modern era. I'm over it. I'm Nathan Gooks Fletcher. This is my drunk philosophy. And I'll catch you guys later. Have fun, motherfuckers.